Okay, so this project was the Exercise 5.1, the MVC pattern. So to get started, what I did was I went into the product list page, which, just to show you where it's at, this is the 5.1 Exercise Enhancement inside the Product Managers folder. So inside that folder, we're going to go to Product List. And this is this right here, the product list. So let's add in the extra column for the edit button. Let's Control C. And let's add in the column. Save it. And let's go down here. Now this delete button, it's got an action setting for delete product. It's got product ID and category ID. It's a button. Let's take this whole button here and let's just copy it and make it an edit button. Let's Control C and Control V. Now, we do want the action to be in the same directory because product list and the index page are in the same directory, so that's fine. Method post, hidden, action, and here we don't want it to delete product. We actually want it to edit product, but we actually want it to show the edit form. Like this one was showing the add form. This is going to take us to a form, not to actually deleting the product, editing the product. So let's do show add edit form right here. Okay, and let's change the name to edit, and that should do it. Let's refresh. We've got our edit buttons now. Okay, so now we need to load our edit button. We need to have the product ID, the category ID, they're both there. Good. That'll get us the selected category and the selected row. Alright, so now let's move on and let's go and make us an edit product form. So I'm just opening up the product add PHP and we're going to change this one around. We're going to say edit product here instead. Edit. Index PHP is right. Post is right. ID add product form, that's just for CSS, so we'll keep that. And we're going to change this to edit product. And the reason this is edit product is because this page here has a button right here that's going to edit the product. At the bottom it's going to run the update statements. That's the edit product itself. So let's change this to edit product. And let's see, the add button was getting a category ID and it was using category name, so that's right. It's got code here, but unlike the add page you load it up and it's just blank. It has the selected categories in it, but everything else is blank. So we're going to add the values right here so that it'll populate. So code value right there. Let's do one for the name. And I've already got these punched in, so I'll just put them in real quick for you to see them. List price. Okay, so there, those three boxes will now populate with the code, name, and price when we click the edit button on the table. So now we needed to have on our form for credit, we need to have a category ID show up. So let's add in a hidden category, or actually hidden product ID. Let's do that one first to make sure it's there, because we're going to need this not for the form but for the actual update statement later. And we needed the category ID here, so let's come down. Move this away. Sorry about this, I didn't mean to make this complicated. So let's take this one here. Let's copy it. Let's paste it. And let's change the name to category ID. Let's change the name to category ID. Product ID is hidden. Code is name, code, price, name, price, and edit product. Alright, so this page is good. So now we will just save it as product edit, and I've already got it, so I'm just not going to do anything. I'm just going to leave it, but I've already made my product edit page just the same. So we'll cancel, and now let's move on to the models folder to make our functions for the product to get the selected row. So you see we've got 3 product functions already in here, and we need to have one for get selected row. So let's bring that up here, and I've got one right here that I've already made up, get selected row with product ID. And then because there's a where clause for the product ID, I have to have a bind value right here, and I saved it all in an array named product and returned it product. So this variable right now is holding this entire statement for the function. So that one's good. So now let's go over to the category, because we need to populate the text boxes. So that's for that. Now we need to populate the drop-down list. So let's go over to our categories. You see I've got one selected down here already, so let's bring it up. This one has actually been made for get selected category with the category ID number. Again, the where and the bind. So that's in place. So now let's let's go over to the index page. This is where all the action actually takes place. If action equals list products, which is the default, it goes through and sets it up and then includes it to display it. If we look at the show add form, this action, show add form, use functions to populate the drop-down list with all category names and display the add product form, but it's blank. So we want to kind of have something like that, but we want it to have populated the drop-down list with the selected category and populated all the text boxes. So we're going to use that same idea, but we're going to actually use this one right here. Okay, so just to keep this from getting confusing, I'm going to move this out of the way for right now. So for the show edit form, we need to get the product IDs and category ID from the selected row of the edit button. So I got those 2 values. Now use the function created for the populate the drop-down list, and that was product, remember? Get selected row. So now use the function created to populate the drop-down list, and that was categories, get selected category. And then I want to display the edit form page, include it. Alright, so let's look and see if that worked. Let's save this. And let's edit this line right here. Fantastic. We don't have a category ID showing up. Everything else is showing up, so let's go look. Let's go to Product, Edit, Open, Product, Edit. Let's see. Oh, we forgot the value right here for it. So let's just change this right here. Let's come in right here. And let's add in the value for category ID. Save it. And now it has category ID in the box. Okay, so we've populated all of our boxes. Our selected category was guitars, and that's what's showing up in the drop-down list, so that's correct. Let's just change the price to $99 instead. And now it's for $15.99. But I didn't show you the last step yet, which was adding in the actual if action. So we had, let's go to the index page. We had the if action equals show edit form, and that was from here. I'm sorry, that was from right here. This edit button, if this gets clicked, then it got the IDs, it used the IDs in the product and categories array, and then it displayed the edit form, which is exactly what it does. Okay, so now we need to work on this update product right here. This button is going to allow us to change the price or the code or any of these around. So I made this function, this insertion right here. Okay, and that is if action equals edit product, which is this button, then get all the edited field values, all these right here, and you remember we did put in a hidden product ID. So we're getting our product ID, category ID, code name, and price. And then we're validating our entries, and then perform the update function created. And that's the edit product function. And that is right here. Oops, went too far. Let's just put this here. Okay, so I added in a function to edit the product. It needed all the categories, all the columns, took them and bound them. So that's already been set up. So now on the index page, all we're doing is we're saying perform the update function created, and there's the function itself, and then display the edited product. Just like it was up on the top on this one here. Category ID uses to be able to get back. So let's save all that. Refresh this one. And let's change the price to $7.50. Sorry. And $7.50 is now the price. So that kind of just walks you through how it all passed values back and forth in the MVC. You only really needed to make changes to the product list page to add your column and your button. And then on your, you needed to create 3 functions, 2 functions for product, 1 function for the category, and then create an edit form page. And then finally, to be able to go over to the index page and add in all your if actions. If the edit button was clicked, if the update product button was clicked, just handling those 2 different actions by a user. Okay, I hope that helped you to understand it a little better. Thanks a lot for watching. Bye.